Hey everyone, welcome back. It's so nice to have you join me again. And today, we're really privileged to have a guest join us today. She's going to be talking to us a little bit today about the stuff that we often overlook or forget about as immigrants is well-being and culture integration. This is one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my entire life. And I think we underestimate what a toll it puts on you. And we forget that we also need to invest in ourselves and just look after ourselves. And that's not just physically, but it's our mental well-being that we so often overlook. So I'm so privileged today to have Lindy join us from MpowerMe Coaching. And I'll let her introduce herself properly, but she comes with a world of knowledge, but not only a world of knowledge, she's walked the walk the same as all of us. She's an immigrant herself here to New Zealand too. So I'm really grateful to have her join us today. And we're going to get into a little bit about the culture and career side of immigration and coaching and what it's all about and how she can actually assist us and how it's so important not to overlook that side of our immigration journey. So with that, I want to introduce Lindy. So nice to have you join us.
Thanks, Brett. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and to be introduced by you. I'm Lindy Lelij and I'm the founder of MpowerMe Coaching. I also work in the hospital and have been for the last 12 and a half years. I've been working with hundreds of people between the ages of 18 and 95. From different backgrounds, and that's what I do.
Thanks, Lindy. I'm curious, well, why did you get into coaching? Why Empower Me Coaching? Why New Zealand?
Yeah, well, in my hospital job, I work with a lot of people who are new to New Zealand.
Okay.
And for this is a wonderful way for them to get to grips with what is New Zealand all about, what is work culture, and through volunteering, they really get a glimpse of what this is all about.
Okay.
As for myself, I was born in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
So I always had that notion of a family here.
Yeah.
And while I was brought up in the Netherlands on the other side of the globe,
Okay.
I always had that sense of home in two sides of the globe.
Yeah.
And when I was in my 30s, early 30s, I came back to New Zealand to start a business. So I started a business relationship with New Zealand in importing New Zealand quality wines into Europe.
Okay.
And that was a really interesting journey into my roots, if you like.
Yes.
And then on one of those journeys, I took along my husband.
Okay.
And he absolutely fell in love with New Zealand.
Okay.
And as we married and had our two children, we decided that I was going to be a stay-at-home mum for at least the first couple of years.
This was still when you were in the Netherlands?
This was still when I was in the Netherlands.
Okay, okay.
And that's when I said, well, okay, if I need to be a stay-at-home mum, we don't necessarily need to be in the Netherlands. We could go anywhere, somewhere exotic, somewhere exciting. And so my then husband said, well, that's all right, but it needs to be an English-speaking country, and it needs to be a country where I can have my job. Yeah. And so the choice was made quite easily for New Zealand because, again, he fell in love with the country.
Okay.
And my children were New Zealand by birthright.
Yes, okay.
So we all ended up here in 2003 after a year of sabbatical.
Okay.
And bought a house and made a living here.
Okay. So that explains it a little bit now, understanding as much as you were born here, you pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, but grew up in the Netherlands. So that was kind of like your life. That's where you grew up. And then to obviously come back here, as much as you were very young when you left, it must have been really different for you coming back from the Netherlands to New Zealand.
Yeah. I grew up in a Northern European country, and there's a massive cultural difference to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So that was one. And I think that for most people, an immigration story is quite layered.
Yeah.
I think I told you earlier that I'm conducting a research project. So I am interviewing lots and lots of immigrants in various stages of their immigration story. And they are all so different.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, because everybody comes in with their own background, their own baseline, their cultural baseline, different expectations. Some come here on their own. Others come as a couple or with a young family. And they all are so different. My story is quite layered also because I already had a family here.
Yes, yes.
And that family is part Maori.
Yeah.
So that gave it another layer again.
Yeah.
It was not just a matter of coming from the Netherlands to New Zealand,
Yeah.
but also being introduced in the Maori side of life.
Yeah. Oh, gee, that's just making me think. So I can tell you, Lindy, like you said, all of us immigrants have our story of coming here, and everybody's got their own challenges and everything that they've gone through on their journey. And you've just shared with us now that you've come from the Netherlands now. Yes, okay, you were originally from New Zealand, but you pretty much grew up in Netherlands, then coming here. But you've also got now your family that's here in New Zealand, and it's also the Maori culture as well. How did you have any challenges? How did it work for you? Was it easy for you to move back to New Zealand
No.
and integrate, or what were some of the challenges you went through?
Yeah, I had lots of challenges actually. While I was trading with New Zealand, I had discovered that really and truly Europe was my home.
Yeah.
It was my base. And I envisaged that I would come and visit New Zealand on a very regular basis.
Yeah.
And once I retire, I would put my cabin, or if I was lucky enough, my home on Maori land where I belong,
Yes.
and then spend the summer months here and go back to Europe.
Oh.
When we made the
Brilliant.
decision to move to New Zealand, I actually turned that around over time. But it wasn't easy because my initial thoughts were that we were going to be here for just a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that when the children were old enough to go to primary school, we'd be long back in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And that never happened.
Yeah. It just shows you life, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out the way that you plan. So there's always, I'm not going to go into my story now. I've done that plenty and you know it as well. But it just shows you life can always change. So really, it's making me think a little bit. You know, you had a few challenges and everything like that. How did it lead you to where you are now and what you're doing with MpowerMe Coaching? I'm trying to connect the dots. I'm saying, okay, you've touched on some of the challenges you had in your personal story of getting here. Talk us through it a little bit more. Tell us how you got to where you decided, okay, well, we've moved the family back here to New Zealand. We're not having, and what I thought would be awesome, Lindy, geez, having 6 months of summer up north and 6 months of summer down south. I thought that was an awesome idea. So now, unfortunately, that isn't the way you're having it. You're full-time down here. But I'm really trying to understand, how did you, talk me through your journey. How did you go from being here to actually getting to where you are today with MpowerMe Coaching?
Yeah. Well, in the Netherlands and in New Zealand, my professional background is HR. Back in the time, it was called personnel management. So I'm showing my age here. And so I always really loved working with people and getting them from A to B. So that was always, it needed to have a bit of a business component.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done for a long, long time in my career. And then in the late 90s, I did a course of counseling.
Yeah.
Because I thought I want to be able to help people in a more personal way. And I really loved that course, but I was still tied up in my own businesses and working for the government at the time.
Yeah.
And then early 2000, I started coaching people through weight loss.
Okay.
And I found that that was much more layered than I had actually thought. So even though I really enjoyed helping people on that more personal level, through my immigration to New Zealand, I reverted back to a job. And eventually a career in the hospital. And through this last career step, coordinating and managing volunteer services at Auckland City Hospital and Starship and Greenland Clinical Centre, and meeting all these new New Zealanders, all these new immigrants, it was actually staring me in the face, Brad, because it was partly my own story. And it comes together so beautifully with my past work experience and the courses that I've done. So about 3-4 years ago, I started studying psychology and counseling again.
Yeah.
And since then, I've done several courses in NLP, transformational coaching, business coaching, and then you and I met.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in as a partner in soft lending.
Yeah, no, that's why we partnered together. Is you not only do you understand what all of us immigrants have gone through, but you've also got such good credentials to be able to back it up and to be able to assist us. So maybe that's where I want to kind of go now. Explain a little bit more what actually is coaching. Okay, you
Yeah.
said you've done all these courses in counseling, in coaching. You've mentioned a little bit about transformation. You've spoken a little bit about business, and I've got all these things going off in my head and saying, okay, but I'm trying to figure it out. Where does Lindy fit in my life? How could she support me and help me? And what is coaching all about?
Yeah. Yeah. So coaching is not therapy. Let me be
Okay.
very clear about
Okay.
that. I like coaching people who are functioning absolutely fantastic,
Okay.
but
Okay.
are stuck, are feeling the pinch because they suffer from resilience fatigue, especially immigrants. You know, they are continuously adapting, and they have no idea how adapting to a new country with everything they packed in their
Yes.
suitcase, they come along with huge life experience, but also a soul full of unique translations of what their life is
Yeah.
supposed to look like. And then settling into a new country, you start to question all of that.
Yeah.
That's where you need somebody alongside you who can help you through coaching. So, again, it's not therapy. I am very much focused on the here and now and then get you to a future vision. Coaching traditionally is all about future focused goal setting,
Yeah.
whereas immigrant coaching is very much about the here and now because we need to get clear who you are as a person,
Yeah.
what you bring to New Zealand. You really need that orientation before we can even begin to think about future goals.
Yeah.
Once we've got that settled, I will help you with that goal setting and get you from A to B in your own empowered way, from your own strengths. I often say to people, it is the highly functioning people, the successful people who spend an hour with me on a monthly basis just to keep themselves on track. Because I'm not your friend, I am not a loved one, I am a coach, and it is easier for you to accept my probing questions because I will hold you to account to yourself
Yeah.
and build from there. So I'm actually your second conscious, if you like,
Yeah.
and we can explore the depths of what it means to be you, your values, where you want to go, and why. And another thing I'd like to point out is that many immigrants come to New Zealand actually with the wish of changing their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
New Zealand is known for a more laid back approach. It's all about the outdoors, it's all about relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you come from a country like I have, where the rat race is key,
Yeah.
our deepest wish was to come to New Zealand and build a different lifestyle, especially with the focus on our young family at the time. But what actually happened is that we came here, we settled, we unpacked, we built a house, did a border correction, got the kids to school, my husband to work. Then I was looking into study. I studied as a real estate agent. I went to work and I went straight back into the rat race that I
Yeah.
actually wanted to.
Get
So
away from.
these
Yeah.
are things that we can talk about
Yeah.
and just ensure that you're heading into a direction that you had envisaged for yourself and your family if you
Yeah.
have one.
Oh, Lindy, that's putting it out quite nicely. And I'm trying to relate it back a little bit to myself here. So I've only been here for 3 years now. And I can tell you a lot of what you've said now. A big thing for us coming here was all about our family. It was about our kids. It's about trying to get that balance, about trying to get a bit of a slower pace. People call it work-life balance, okay?
Yeah.
But I think it's easier said than done. It's not easy. I think you move across here, and the first year is just a blur. First year is just trying to survive. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think only really once you get into your second year of being here, that's kind of when you can breathe and go, oh, okay, now let's start thinking a little bit more than just survival mode. And that's when you start thinking about, okay, well, why did we even come here? And what were we actually trying to achieve? And sometimes you need that accountability like you've spoken about now. But also, and maybe I'm opening up a bit more, and maybe it'll be another session we go into, but I'm curious now because you've really got me thinking, is one of the things we really struggle with here is the cultural differences in the workplace. Because I can tell you, it's hard. You're sometimes always questioning, am I good enough? Am I understanding what's going on? Sometimes you've taken a step back as well. Sometimes you're really questioning if you're even that competent and able. It's tough. Is this the sort of stuff that you're finding immigrants are struggling with that you can try and help get us on track with? Maybe you could talk us through some of those examples, one or two, just so it lands with some examples. That's the kind of stuff that Lindy would help us with.
Yeah. First thing I'd like to say is that what you just described is an absolute normal part of the immigration process. Okay. So please don't doubt yourself, because it's hard enough. You need to reinvent your professional identity. That's what this is all about. And all the uncertainties that you feel, and rightfully feel, because everything is different here. You don't really have that reference point, because the employers here in New Zealand don't know the companies that you've worked for, don't know the scope, don't know the scaling. Your titles mean a different thing. And let me just point out that New Zealand has over 600,000 companies in New Zealand, but about 3/4 of them are sole trading companies. So New Zealand is quite risk reverse when it comes to hiring people. And the people that they do hire need to fit the team. And the teams are usually small. You have maybe a handful of bigger organizations. And so to new immigrants, I would say, try to get a job. Don't think too much about where you come from career-wise, because that may be a few steps down the line. Just get a job, or if you can afford it, volunteer, and try to get to grips with what it is to work in a New Zealand culture, in a work culture.
Oh, Lindy, you've nailed it on a lot of things with the culture, and that's things, especially when you talk about big corporates. And it's something I've even experienced myself. Working in South Africa, I worked for a global company, and I was reporting into people in different parts of Europe and dealing with people in the Americas, etc. So it was a big global company. And I expected coming across to New Zealand, being a first world country, moving with that same company I moved across with, transferring here, I thought it's going to be the same. Was I sorely mistaken, Lindy? Although we were part of the bigger corporate globally, New Zealand still ran as a smaller company, and it was immature in a lot of different ways with regards to their processes, their thing. They ran like almost like a small business mentality. So it was a big adjustment for me, thinking, well, if this was how a big corporate runs, wow, this is crazy. But a lot of what you started saying about the different businesses, how they registered, I guess even thinking about it, the country is only like 6 million people or less. So it only makes sense that there's going to be a smaller market, a smaller pool. It's different, the way that they function here. So it
and
really
of course,
is,
with the current economic climate, that makes it even more different. But you can probably imagine that if your story is that you come from a company that you already work for here in New Zealand, how difficult it must be for everybody else coming into a smaller organization. And again, it's all very relationship based. You know, it is said of New Zealand that it's all about who you know. But in my experience, it is more about who you know that knows what you know.
That is so key, Lindy, what you've said there. It really, really is. Who you know knows what you know. I love that. I really love that. I'm so going to use that. I'm going to write that one down. But it is so true. And I've also found, even when, because like you said, you're coming across to a new country, and never mind, job titles are different, the cultures are different and everything like that. When you're actually going through those interviews and meeting with people, we're so quick to start talking about all your skills and technical skills and whatever else. but I really found they're so big on really trying to understand you and the fit in the team, and will you be able to gel with the right attitude? That's huge here. It's like so big with what they look at as well. And sometimes that's a big mind shift for you when you're entering and joining those companies, is starting to realize, you've got to think about those things. It's not just about saying I could do anything and do all the work and get it done and, drive, because they're like,
Yeah, you want to prove yourself because that is probably the culture that you come from.
Yeah.
And so that's what you do. You put your best foot forward,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you should not do here in New Zealand. So this is all about building the relationship, telling New Zealand how much you are eager to learn about New Zealand and the New Zealand ways, and that you've been volunteering and that you are dining every now and then with your family at the RSA and what your findings are. And that's when you are slowly and surely
starting to integrate and being accepted and everything like that, making a lot of sense. So, Lindy,
Yes.
this is really helping me understand how coaching actually would fit into your life, and how coaching can actually benefit you. So I'm starting to understand how you can help us. Now, what I'm trying to also understand now is I'm thinking practically. I'm thinking, well, how does this coaching thing work? Do I have to come meet you in your offices? How does coaching work? Like, talk me through it.
Well, it would be good if people who are interested in having a chat with me, and that could be just an initial orientation chat, that's free of charge, of course, is to go to my website and fill out a brief form and just connect with me, and I will be in touch. We can meet online. That is usually how I work.
Okay.
But if you're in the environment of Auckland, we can meet on the beach, if you like.
Yeah.
We can go for a beach walk, have a walk and a talk.
Yeah, awesome.
Again, this is not therapy, so I do want to stress that if you are suffering from severe anxiety or depression, or there are neurological disorders at play, that's where you need therapy.
Counselors and therapies, no, 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
100%. So it's really making it clear where coaching is actually fitting in. And I'm really loving the way that your coaching is tying in not only with immigration, but it's really tying in with the culture in business and trying to help us here. Because I think that's a big thing for a lot of us immigrants, is how do we really succeed and do well in the business side of things with our careers and everything as well. So really loving that. And just one more question. So if we're in Auckland, obviously we can meet with you face to face. You even said we could go for a beach walk, which would be great. But otherwise it would be online. Do you do group sessions or is it one-on-one? How does that work, Lindy?
At the moment, I do one-on-one or couples.
Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten into group sessions yet.
Okay.
But what I have developed, especially for immigrants, is the Cultural Compass Guide.
Tell me a little bit more about your offering.
The Cultural Compass offering is really a program that I specifically designed for immigrants who are relatively new here in New Zealand, because I found that they have a myriad of questions and struggles to get through to settle well. And so when they purchase the program from me, we'll be talking about their identity and their sense of belonging. I think I told you before that traditional coaching is all about goal setting, but immigrant coaching is very much about identifying who you are and who you can be here in New Zealand. So that's very, very important. We talk a little bit about grieving what you've lost and left behind. Because that is another major part that immigrants are carrying with them. And by the way, being an immigrant, that process never ends. You can come to New Zealand, settle in, and in a couple of years you will say to yourself, we've settled in well. The actual immigration process is ongoing. Especially when you've come here as an adult, you've already built a life and you've built a life together. So when you are here in another country, like in New Zealand, you have to build another life, a new life together. And that's why this grieving part, just to mention what it is that you're grieving for, is so important.
Oh, that's so true.
And
geez.
sorry.
I said that is so true. I'm
Yeah.
resonating exactly with what you're saying. And I mean, I'm only 3 years in. You've obviously been here a lot longer. And I can tell you that's 100%,
Yeah.
you grieve the loss of, and of so many things. And it's not just physical stuff that you've lost, It's family, it's experiences, it's the life that you used to have, your career that you've built up. There's so much that you have to work through. So that's so true, Lindy.
Yeah. It's essentially everything that is familiar to you
Yeah. Yeah.
is seen through a different lens here. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not here. It is
Yeah.
very much here, but
Yeah.
it's in a different context.
Yeah.
And so for a while, you feel like your past doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I am here to empower you that your past is very important, because it is through your past that you can join a future with us here.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's what I really want you to know. There is a session specifically on your ability to adapt
yes.
and your ability to deal with setbacks, because you'll have a
Yeah.
few.
Oh,
And this is, you probably recognize what I'm saying here too. And
sure.
it is so important that you know how to regulate your nervous system, because if you don't, then before you know, you might end up in a burnout. And we can't have that, because we need you authentic, strong, and ready to take on all these challenges. So that's what we'll be doing, and I can truly help you there. There'll
Lindy,
be
I want to ask, when you say regulate your nervous system, just explain that. Sorry, I feel like the dummy in the room here. Just explain what you mean by that.
Well, if you go through your normal day, you
Yeah.
have your moments where you need to be extra alert, to
Yeah.
say the least. This is not about fight or flight.
Yeah.
This is your body's response to get ready for a potential situation. That could be as simple as getting irritated because you can't find a car park, or there's somebody being very nasty to you
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
traffic, or you
Yeah.
have a challenging moment in a
Yeah.
business meeting. So, or you're going for a job interview and you're just not quite sure. So these are all pivotal moments where your body prepares you for the next thing to get ready for. Whereas that's your sympathetic nervous system getting into action, trying to protect you. All right. So this is really important.
Yeah.
Then at some stage, when the threat subsides or is
Yeah.
no longer there,
Yeah.
parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and gets you back to homeostasis. That means, in general terms, going back to balance. Now,
Okay.
this happens throughout the day, on and off, and that's quite normal. However, when you are in a prolonged time preparing for fight or flight, or you would be in a prolonged time easing down back to homeostasis, you actually get out of kilter. And your body will tell you this by not sleeping properly, always being on edge and tense. And you can imagine that when you are continuously doing your best to fit in and to adapt, that gets you out of kilter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is why I am working with you so hard to get you back home to you, essentially, and give you the tools, just simple tools, somatic exercises, to come home to yourself every time you feel that stress. Because if you are balanced, you go through this whole process so much more smooth. So that's what that is about.
Oh, that makes so much sense. No, thanks, Lindy. That really makes sense to me. And the sad thing is I can actually pick up so much of this that I've been experiencing over the last 3 years, but not only I have, but I've even noticed it in my wife. And it's from a number of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from a number of reasons. We've immigrated here, so that's the one challenge. But two, it's starting all over, and then all the added stresses of family and everything that's going on. And I can see how we'll nip at each other, and you're constantly, just struggling with little things, and you're not calm like you used to be. And sometimes you bite people's head off for nothing. So
because you're carrying this on top of everything else that is actually new and not that familiar. So it is really hard for an immigrant sometimes to come home So what you need to learn, and there's a few tricks for that, is to come home to yourself.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so tell me more. I'm obviously starting to get a bit of an understanding of what you go through in your Cultural Compass series, but what else? Tell me more.
Career purpose alignment,
Yeah.
very important. Now, I am quite cautious and try to keep the information about New Zealand as generic as possible.
Yeah.
Because it is all about your baseline, how you perceive things to be here.
Yeah.
New Zealand, of course, is quite a unique country in the sense that it is bicultural.
Yeah.
You have the Maori population and you have the non-Maori population called Pākehā.
Yeah.
That in itself is quite charged, actually, to talk about those two groups, your Maori or non-Maori. So you can probably feel that already.
Yeah.
And there are government organizations that have an obligation to the Treaty of Waitangi.
Yeah.
So they work with treaty obligations in quite a different way than some other organizations do.
Yeah.
You don't need to fret about it, but it's nice to have some context so you kind of know what this is all about. And do take years to adjust to that and to come to your own conclusions and how you will relate to the Treaty of Waitangi. I think that's really important not to rush this.
Yeah.
For a proper understanding. But it's not just the treaty and the biculturalism.
Yeah.
Pākehā New Zealand, the Kiwi New Zealand, has gone through a tremendous ex-colonial phase themselves.
Yeah.
Very suppressed. I remember, for instance, that my father in the 1970s, he could only purchase a car from England. He couldn't import from Asia, as we all did back then.
Okay.
He could only purchase a car from England, and he was on a waiting list of 3 years before it was his turn. And then he bought a second, third, sixth hand car.
Yeah.
So that is suppressive. And then when the UK decided to join the EU, they kind of, no, I won't say dumped New Zealand, but they let go of New Zealand. They had to let go of New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand truly felt the pinch. So as a job seeker, you would imagine that if you come here in a senior management position, you come from Europe, telling these Kiwis what to do, they're not going to like it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
these are some things that would be good to understand in the context, but I'm always very aware that what you do with it must align with who you are and your values.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Let's assume you get invited to a dinner party with new Kiwi friends,
Yeah.
and you and your wife and your Dutch cousin and a brother who lives in the USA coming to visit you. The four of you are coming to this dinner party. And on the day, this new friend calls you and says, actually, my brother is here. He's not done too well and he's in a bit of a pickle. I hope you don't mind. And you say, no, of course not. We'll be there.
Yeah.
The way that you treat this brother and the situation, the pickle that he's in, for all four of you will be different. And that's what should remain. I mean, the social code of bringing a plate and bringing your own drinks and leaving your shoes at the front door is one thing. But how you actually deal with social interactions must come authentically from you. That's why I keep reinforcing that orientation of who you are and who you can be here in New Zealand is so important. Don't lose yourself in the process trying to fit in. So again, you know, and that automatically leads to communication differences.
Yeah.
Again, if you were to ask me when I was new in New Zealand, what do you think of the New Zealand communication style? Do you think that they're quite direct or indirect? I would tell you, to me, they are pretty indirect.
Yeah.
But you ask an immigrant from Sri Lanka, for instance,
And probably,
and he'll say, oh, no, very direct.
Yeah.
So again, it is important that you stick to what you know best, what works for you, because you, of course, as an adult, you have found your way already to connect to people quite, you know, positively. So,
Oh, no, but that makes a lot of sense. So thanks, Lindy, because it's really, I'm relating it back to how it's going to help me in the business world. So I'm thinking, be it a manager, be it in a sales role, be it in just general connecting with other people, even at a conference or anything in work, it would be so good to understand a lot of this background, this history, not necessarily, you know, to know all the nitty gritty of the history, but it just gives me context, especially when I'm now starting to talk to other people that have been here their whole lives and on different cultures and backgrounds from New Zealand. I get it. It really can help.
And then the last session is really the wrap up, summarizing your roadmap. And I'm sure that most people will return to the roadmap from time to time.
Yep.
Because an immigration journey is not a 1 year thing.
No.
Now, you will develop this by yourself,
Yes.
by all means. That's exactly where I want people to be.
Yeah.
But it will take a few years for you to really settle well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I love that you said this course that you've got is it's a 6-week course?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a 6-week
Or 6
course.
months, because sometimes people say, no, I want to take more time. But we can do it in 6 weeks, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will, and it's work.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, it's not just a chat on the beach.
Yeah.
This is going through a
Yeah.
6-week period where I guide you through all these aspects of immigration on an emotional level, on an identity level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe just so I get that 100% clarity so that we can all understand there is if we had to sign up for this 6-session course, what can we expect to have as an outcome post going through that course as a person that's gone through it?
Yeah, what I would suggest is that you get a taster first, see if you like it.
Yeah.
So I can send a resource that I created especially from this course, this 6 weeks course, and then we can have a personal chat to see how you can fit this all in.
Okay. So starting point is really meeting up with you first, have that first initial chat, which you said there's no cost to that. It's really just having a good chat to get to know each other and seeing if this is the right move for you. And moving forward, you will then work it out together and see how you're going to move forward with the coaching. That's really great. Oh, Lindy, this has really started giving me a good understanding what coaching is versus actual counseling, but it's also giving me a better understanding of how you can actually help us as immigrants, particularly when we're transitioning into New Zealand life here, particularly in our career side of things. So it's really, really starting to help with that a lot. So thank you, Lindy. I really appreciate it. Maybe I can ask one last closing question, okay?
Sure.
If there's one thing that you wanted the audience or the listeners to hear from today's session, okay? If they didn't hear anything else we spoke about today, but there's one thing you want them to take home and hear, what is that one thing you would want them to hopefully land with them and take on board?
If I can be really personal, I would say give yourself some slack. You're doing fine. You're not broken. It's so much to take on. Let's just unpack this together and you'll be on your way, I promise. Because for immigrants to actually make the journey to New Zealand and to start all over again, you know, you're doing fine.
Yeah. Oh, Lindy, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And I can actually hear, you know, you get it. It's on your heart. I can hear how you really get what we're all going through and you genuinely want to help.
I'm really passionate about this, Brad. And I would say that, you know, if the members have any questions to just pop it in and I will regularly check and I will always answer. So feel free. Not everything is paid. Just ask me.
So, Lindy, really, thank you for that. So let me just explain it a little bit for the audience as well. So there will be a lot of people that are going to be listening to this on podcasts and YouTube as well. So there is, what Lindy is referring to is we've got an app, a community called the Soft Landing Inner Circle community. And Lindy is part of that community with us, along with a whole lot of other specialists. So we actually have a community of immigrants that come together where we support each other in all areas, from the financial side, the immigration side, to the wellness side, which is where Lindy fits in. So that's what she's talking about there. If you're part of that community, by all means, direct message Lindy, myself, chat with us in the community. But if you're not part of that community and you're watching this on YouTube or on one of our podcasts, by all means, go into the comments. I will put in the description. I'll put in the links to Lindy's website and a whole lot of information there. So reach out to us so we can help you too. Awesome. Lindy, you must keep well. And I really thank you for your time today. And we'll be in touch and speak soon.
Lovely. See you then.
Keep well. Cheers, bye.
Bye.